What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this video is going to be about the 250k NBA 2K19 MyTEAM Tournament and the first qualifier today. So I'm going to be talking about what I think was good in the qualifier, what I think wasn't good in the qualifier, and just an overall recap of what happened during the day. So I'm going to start off with what I think. I'm going to start with the negative first, to be completely honest. And the thing is that the servers screwed over so many people. Like, it is scary how many people are completely screwed over by these servers. And I don't mean like just random people. Like, loads of random people obviously got screwed over. But at like 5 different stages, people that were top 3 in the world disconnected. And I'm going to talk about all those. I think it was 5 stages. I'm going to talk about all those times now. But yeah, also with the way this competition went, there were so many changes at number 1. And surprisingly enough, nearly all the top players were known players. They're people that people knew were elite. So in general, it kind of goes with what a lot of people are saying, that like the best players are the streamers or people that are known in the community, and that seems to be the case. It doesn't seem like there's any just like random players that don't stream, that don't play competitively, don't enter tournaments, that are really strong, because all the players that were number 1 in the world passed about 20 minutes, I'd say. Actually, I think every single number 1 ranked player was somewhat known in the community. Obviously, some of them way better than others, but to be honest, it is good to see guys that we already know and not just like random people that just play the game in it. So now I'm going to go over a recap of the entire competition. So basically, what I'm going to say is, for the very start of the day, there were so many number 1s, like so many. There was, after like 15 minutes, there was the guys who won by rage quit. And these were the guys we have no idea who were top. Like, we have actually no idea. I know I said at every stage, I've got no idea who was top, because it was just due to whoever rage quit the quickest. There was only like 6 people on leaderboards at this stage. And then there was the guys who finished their first game quickly. And the guy who was number 1 was TYYT, or TYY... Ty YT, I think. It's like so many Y's that I've kind of lost track. But I will leave a link to his YouTube in the description. He's the guy who makes the ball dropping tutorials. And at one stage, he was number 1 with 285 points. And then, like, to be completely honest, there was a load of like random people that ended up at top, because people were just finishing their first games. People were getting more points than the other. There was a spell of about 15 minutes that I was top myself. So at one stage, I was the number 1 ranked player in this qualifier. But that didn't last for very long, and I lost very briefly out of that after that, and was out very, very quickly from this competition. And then after 2 rounds, there was a lot of guys, a lot of elite players were up near the top. Jinsanity was near the top, and surprisingly enough, you guys are going to be shocked to hear this if you don't look at Twitter, but at one stage, number 1 was Caldy Gaming, or I think he's just Caldy on YouTube. But please, Caldy, come back. Please come back, Caldy. He was number 1 at one stage. We want to see that game. Please come back, Caldy. And then, as the day went on, we actually started seeing the elite players. We started seeing them near the top. Like, we started seeing Jinsanity at the top. Jinsanity at one stage was kind of pulling away. We've got a lot of guys, a lot of 2K League guys, a lot of elite Pro-Am players. And to be fair, they showed. Like, I've always said this, that the majority of people that are great in one game mode are great in all of them. And that's especially the case with the Pro-Am game players. Like, not necessarily Park players. Well, most Park players aren't necessarily great at MyTEAM and vice versa. They do play strange styles and do quite well. So, like, none of them are awful at the game. However, the Pro-Am players, especially the League guys, seem to be elite at every game mode. There was Jinsanity, who was doing so well. And Jinsanity actually won our MyTEAM tournament with MyTEAM Ranker. He basically ran through everybody. Nobody could come close to him. And Jinsanity may be the best MyTEAM player in the world right now. It's realistically between him, my opinion, it's between him, TJ Erde, who will be mentioned later on in this video, as well as a guy, Uncool Maddie or Brown Boy. The 3 of them are the 3 best. But Jinsanity had the lead for a lot of kind of the middle portion of it, and it looked like he wasn't going to lose. But the first casualty at the top of the leaderboard was, in fact, Jinsanity. Jinsanity was first by an entire game. He was first comfortably at one stage in the tournament. Although there was no guarantee he was going to win it, he was on track. And what happens? The servers went. And the servers were going for a lot of people, to be fair. It happened to an awful lot. AfroPig got screwed by the servers. A lot of people got screwed by the servers. But Jinsanity was the first of the top 10 players to get screwed. And to be honest, that set the tone for what the rest of the day was going to be like. The rest of the 4-hour period, this was about 2 hours in. The rest of it was basically which of the elite players was going to get luckiest. Which of them wasn't going to draw another elite player in the competition. And which of them wasn't going to disconnect due to something that they had zero control of. Which of them was wasn't going to come up against a god squad that was from a really good player. Like Ambush came up against Mo Is The Way To Go, who's an elite player. And Ambush lost really early, even though he had a great team, because Mo is a great player. A lot of guys were losing early with honestly great teams, because they were coming up against really good players. And then there was a lot of guys who were kind of there or thereabouts due to playing weaker competition. So there was definitely flaws about this tournament. In general, I thought it went badly, but I don't think is the worst way of doing it. But at the same time, there is a lot of external factors. But yeah, at this stage was really when one man began to completely take over this leaderboard, and that was TJ Erde. TJ Erde had a 4-point lead over Dichotomy, who's another elite player, as well as a very small lead over Lookershot. However, TJ was a game ahead. TJ was just about to finish a game while they were all starting. TJ had legitimately a couple of 100-point lead on the likes of Lookershot on Dichotomy. Like, TJ was getting very comfortable. But again, like, Dichotomy wasn't that far behind. A couple of 100 behind, but again, one game can change it all, and just one quick game can change it all. So it was still open at this stage. And then from what I could see, there was the next massive casualty in this tournament. Dichotomy disconnected. Dichotomy, who was pushing TJ for number 1, and again, who is an elite player, one of the top players in the world, ended up disconnected from the game. So unfortunately, when it was all said and done, Dichotomy was then out of the tournament. I know there's multiple entries, but if you need more than one entry in one of these tournaments, like, there's no point even grinding for more than one entry. If you need more than one, you are done. There is no chance of you winning a game. And yeah, so Dichotomy was kind of screwed by the servers as well. He was the second casualty of the 2K servers. So with about 40 minutes to go, TJ Erde had built up basically a 130-point lead, and was also a game ahead of New Edition Flash, as in TJ was in the game while New Edition Flash had just finished, so he was going to pull even further ahead, as well as the fact that Dichotomy was out of the competition. He had a 300-point lead on Lookershot, and at that stage they were almost identical games played. So Lookershot needed a big comeback, and Kuda was right beside Lookershot at that stage. But yeah, so it was really tight up at the top. Well, it was really tight after the top, but TJ was starting to pull away. But then, unfortunately, TJ got black circled and disconnected from a game. And this happened with about 40 minutes to go. So this gave Lookershot the time to finish his game and also to play one more game. So all Lookershot needed to do was not lose, and he had gone, like, he'd won. There was no ifs or buts about it. As long as Lookershot didn't lose, he'd won, due to TJ disconnecting. And that's exactly what Lookershot did. Looker won his 2 games, and he pulled way ahead of TJ. It left that kid Kuda with a huge mountain to climb, which, to his defense, he didn't lose a game. Kuda was just a game behind. Kuda basically played against a guy who stalled the entire game, and from doing that, it meant that Kuda spent more time in his games, and due to the fact that there was a limit on games being played, Kuda couldn't play his final game. Had Kuda played his final game and not been a game behind Lookershot, he honestly, I'm not going to say he would have won, but it would have been extremely close. But at the same time, there's a lot of luck involved in this tournament. Ironically, Lookershot was the guy who, of all the elite players, who had the best luck, didn't disconnect, got his games played quick, and yeah, congrats to Lookershot. So anyway, that's the video. If you guys want to know what team I ran for the tournament, this was my team. And in my first game, I played against an all-diamond, a pink diamond squad, and blew them out by, I'm trying to think what I blew them out by. I blew them out by nearly 20 in the end. That's how, like, using this squad and beating a diamond squad was how initially, for those 15 minutes, I was number 1 in the rankings. And I'm going to use a squad of this level probably for the rest of the competition. Overall, Lookershot is an elite player and he made it through, but because of the servers and the fact that it was ran at the same time as Ruffles, they just can't do this for another week. There's a lot of luck involved in the tournament, which is to be expected, to be honest. But at the same time, it can't come down to who can last on their game. It can't be 2K's deciding. It can't be something out of someone's control whether they win or lose. The amount of points gained per game is something in some way people can control. The squad players use, high, low overalls, that's in people's control. However, whether you disconnect or not from the servers, people can't control. And for that reason, to be completely honest, I think that unless they fix the servers, and please 2K do not run this the same time as a park event, but unless they fix the servers, I think this could just be another week like this where it's a disaster and all people are doing are complaining. When, to be fair, like, the point system is nowhere near as bad as I expected it to be, and there was a lot of really good things about the tournament. Although the few bad things really overshadowed all the good things. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.